Kevin Collins here with another raw file of the week edit for the Fro Knows photo.com forums. This is week number 9's photo, and it's a challenge. It's another one that I edited beforehand. It's kind of an interesting subject, but we'll dive into it. First of all, I don't know who the original photographer was, but it was not me. I cannot take credit for the photo. And I haven't seen Greg's nor Jared's edit of the photo, nor have I seen any of the edits from the forum members as well. This picture was taken by a Fujifilm FinePix S3 photo or S3 Pro using an 18 to 55 millimeter lens. It was shot at f4.8 1/45th of a second, ISO 400 at 18 millimeters focal length. It's kind of hard to tell who the actual subject of this picture is. Is it the shrine on the right? Is it the guy taking the picture of the shrine on the left? Is it the combination that he's taking a picture? Is it the fact of the geologic stuff in the background? Is it where the shrine is located? I don't know. I found it hard to concentrate on just any one thing there. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to concentrate on the shrine and bring it to try and be the focal point. Now, this is I actually looked this camera up on Amazon, and according to Amazon, it's a 6.17 megapixel camera. Not saying it's a bad camera, but I really couldn't do anything like a crop or a resize to shift the focus or the focal point to an item in there, because the amount of pixels was so low that once you cropped it, everything became jagged. So we'll just not worry about cropping, and we'll just move forward. So let's get our copy made here and switch to the develop module. Right off the bat, we're going to do our sharpening and our lens correction, which isn't going to work because Lightroom doesn't know anything about the lens. So we're just going to assume and leave it be. Alright, so what I'm going to do first, excuse me, is I'm going to bump the white balance to about 60, about 7,000. Give it a more warm feeling there. And because the background there is in shadow for the most part, I'm going to add a great deal of fill light, just to try and bring out the formations there. I'm not going to go that much, maybe, but 60-ish or so, just to let everybody see what's behind, because there is some interesting features back there, and if nothing else, it's an interesting texture. But the thing that's going to bring out the shrine in this case is I'm going to bump the contrast a great deal, about 80 or so. I'm going to bump the clarity, maybe not that much, 20 or so. I'm going to bump the vibrance just a little bit, and I'm going to desaturate it just a little bit. Yeah. So I pulled the fill light back a little more, and I brought the saturation up just slightly. And I'll tell you what I may do. I bumped the exposure a quarter of a stop. Bump the blacks to about 9. Oh. Tell you what. We'll bring the fill light back a little bit more too. Just to make the dominant colors in that shrine stand out from the darker shades of the mountain behind it. And that 7,000 may be a little too much. See if we can get it a little more natural. Maybe 6,000 instead. The other thing I found about this picture is, I mean, it is, it's at f4.8, which isn't a terribly low f-stop, but I mean, I can't really find anything that's super sharp tack-on focus. I mean, I can see this guy looking at his camera, but I can see a lot of details in these rocks, and I mean, I don't know if they just let the camera pick the focal point by just picking it up and pointing, but I mean, this shrine is not in focus. And you know, that could be the, I mean, this pixelation is the fact that it's only a 6 megapixel image, but I mean, there's nothing in there that's in focus. At least not nearly as much as this rock right here. I mean, you can see scratches and all kinds of stuff in it, but I mean, there's nothing really in focus in this image. Maybe I want to bump the sharpness a little bit. I mean, I've pushed it hard right there, honestly. So I started with Jared's general sharpening preset, and I bumped it pretty heavily, pretty heavily. I mean, I probably went overboard there. But I'm just trying to bring something into focus. And I know, you know, there's nothing you can do. If it's out of focus, it's out of focus, but I'm not even sure what that is. But I mean, I like the composition of it, I guess. I would have liked to have seen a pure focal point, something that's definitely the master of the of the photo, and I probably would have composed it to where I was. I mean, I like the side on or the oblique angle to the shrine, but I probably would have stepped closer to it and gotten this guy out of the frame, unless, you know, we wanted this railing, or I don't know. barricade in the shot. I mean, there's some stonework there, or clay work, I guess. I'm not even sure what kind of, if that's rock or if that's clay. But anyway, I think that's where I'm going to leave it. Let's see if I can give us a before and an after here. Yeah. Here's the before. And here's the after. I brightened it just a little bit, and I brought the colors out as best I could to try and draw people's attention to that shrine, which is obviously the most colorful thing there. I think I'm going to leave it like that, and we'll move on until I get raw file number 10 done. We'll see you.